All right, let's get this thing going. Let's see if I can not be a total boomer today, or my camera not freak out. Many things could happen. Like, am I actually live streaming? I don't know. I'll have to go on to YouTube to see if I'm live streaming. Okay, we're on YouTube. Okay, let me see. No, I don't want to speed up my browsing window. Let's hit the YouTube button. I don't know what any of this shit is. Saudicar. Yeah, where am I? Let's go to live. No? Come on, guys. Let's do this. Let me see here. Latest live performance. Oh, look, I gained a subscriber. Neat. Content. Let's go to live content. Boom. Yep, says I'm live. So, cool. So whatever was going on yesterday, what smack you talking today? All the smack anybody wants to talk. I mean, we can talk about like Turkish smack. We can talk about Australian smack. Yeah, not that kind of smack. We're not talking about.
I don't think talking black tar heroin's the right way to go.
Yeah, that might not be a good way to go with the channel. You know,
not considered YouTube friendly.
Yeah, welcome to the channel where today we will discuss intravenous drug use.
We'll discuss what happens when you hide a ball of black tar heroin in your anus and fall asleep on a train somewhere in Turkey.
Yeah, the long and short is it's not a good thing.
No, and you may wind up in a Turkish prison, Billy.
Yeah, and there's a reason Turkish prisons are considered to be the worst prisons.
Anyway.
They've got a prison in Russia that doesn't even have guards. Like, I lie, it has guards, it doesn't have like a wall.
Yeah.
Because it's built in such an inhospitable place that if anyone were to leave the compound, they'd die. So they're just like, yeah, there you go. Knock yourself out, you know?
That's why I've always thought they should build a prison in like Death Valley. You know what I mean?
Right. But then the AC costs.
Yeah. That's what we need the robot guards for.
Yeah, because you'd have to have some AC or those dudes would be dropping over like crazy, man.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, but people are going to bitch about inhumane treatment.
I think the point is that we're getting closer and closer to a society in the West where people bitching is no longer going to drive policy. And we're going to see that through the success of politicians who do not give a shit what people bitch about, succeeding and doing well. And then that's going to cause the paradigm shift, right? Because that's how it brought us here, was politicians who paid attention to the bitching became popular, and they succeeded more in politics through the 70s and 80s. And as a result of that, we were in this situation we're in today where everyone gives too much of a shit about this. The pendulum, she always swings, my boy. She always swings.
Yeah, it always swings.
And the harder you push her to the left or the right, the harder she snaps back the other way when she does.
Well, it's like right now, I mean, Andre alerted me to this. And what Andre knew about it, I don't know. He's Russian. But I guess they're, having a borderline civil war in England right now.
Oh, yeah, they're on the verge of one, yeah.
And it's just like, because he asked me if I was going to suit up and go save the motherland, and I was like, it's not my
What?
motherland.
What?
Like, it's close though. I mean, but no.
What?
4% of my heart is with them.
Yeah, 0% of my heart is British. My heart is Canadian because that's where I was raised.
Canadian.
And then Irish, Scottish, and Danish. Almost all of my ancestries have "fuck you, England" as primary beliefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Irish and the Scottish because "fuck you, England," and the Danish because, hey, fuck you, England, give us your money.
Give me all the monies.
Give me all the shit that you can. I want all of it.
So,
All the shits.
yeah, I was just watching a thing about the riots and shit. And I guess in some neighborhood, England's weird. Like they have like a mayor of a town, but I guess mayors have more power in towns than ours do.
Yeah, they do.
And it's like, so Keir Starmer said it was okay for them to put up Union Jacks and St. George crosses, but the mayor in a particular town said no and had them all tucking down and then put up Palestinian flags.
No, the Palestinian flags were already up. He didn't put them up. They were already up because of the protests. They've been up for almost 2 years now. The best part is after they took all the flags down, these absolute chads went out and started painting the centers of roundabouts with St. George's cross. And then, like, the next day, they had, like, street cleaners out trying to scrape all the paint off. It's just like, and everyone in England's going, yeah, you can't take the trash out, but you can do that real fucking fast, can't you? It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's English... what the lady was saying, that they have a 2-tier system where, like, some people can do and say whatever they want, and other people go to prison. And
Europe is turning into a shithole that is going to fall in on itself. Did you hear that fucking Austria the Supreme Court of Austria just voted in favor of allowing Sharia law between people who agree to it? That's a great idea, huh?
Yeah. I'm sure it'll work out.
Oh, I can't. There's no downside that I can see.
Yeah, they tried that shit here in Minneapolis. It didn't fly. And it all started because a Somali taxi guy said he shouldn't have to give drunk people a ride because it's against Sharia law for him to hang out with drunk people.
Oh, yeah.
And it turned into a whole thing. And the end of the story is then don't be a cab driver because...
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to give people rides. That's just how that's going to go. So
listen, I have no cultural comment to make on it other than you cannot have a dual legal system in your society. You have to have one legal system that applies to everyone.
Yeah, you'd think.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would think, yeah, you'd think that would be the...
Hello, William Silva. How are you?
Hello. You know what I think the funniest thing is?
What?
When a twink speaks German. It is hilarious.
I'll take your word for it.
Like when Mike Myers was like, welcome to Sprocket.
Now's the time on Sprockets and we dance.
I mean, for some reason, when someone like that talks German, that is the funniest shit ever, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, Red Hulk? The Red Hulk. Wasn't the Red Hulk the one that become a gang member, the mafia or some shit? Like he could turn into the Hulk and stay smart though?
No, the Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Red Hulk's a weird one. They fucking lazy, shitty writing.
Well, that's what you say. I don't disagree because
So I have no idea what's going on my music channel.
I thought you said you were doing great.
Well, and this is what scares me. In the last week, last 28 days, I've gone up 163 subscribers on them at 226 now. The one album that everybody loves, Blackbird, is up to 6,400 views. And it's got 98.2%. So 223 likes versus 4 dislikes. And the 4 dislikes are all fucking AI music because, that's what those fucking monkey heads do. And then, like, the second album that's got a lot of views is the Bayou Saints, which is the Louisiana rock one I made. It's got 1,180. And then the next highest after that is the one I just put up 2 days ago, the Canadian rock one, which has got 540. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know how much this channel got found. I don't know how, because I don't promote it. I don't tag it. I don't do shit. You know what I mean?
Somebody found the music and just started spreading it around,
More than one though, because I got I got a comment from one guy in France who was like, like, fuck, I'm so glad this showed up in my algorithm, like, this is so fun. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with my channel? I'm happy.
I'm all like, what the fuck is an algorithm?
You're fucking That's when I know you and Hungar are related, when you do shit like that.
But so we have a correction. Grey Hulk.
Grey Hulk stayed smart. Yes, Grey Hulk was also known as the mechanic. No, the Mr. Fix-It.
And then Red Hulk says, "Pet my monkey."
Go ahead, pet my monkey.
Pet it. Yeah.
No, Beezle Bubble. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm not trying to turn it into anything. It's just something I do for me and my stuff. It's multimedia for my superhero games, right? And holy shit, it's insane. Blows my mind. I fucking can't understand it, but I'm happy. It's my little hobby right now, and it's getting good traction, so that makes me happy.
Nothing but success.
Thank you.
I was happy because I got one more subscriber according to my thing.
Said, my
subscriber this month. I was like, cool.
My fucking
okay.
My Bear the Gen X GM channel is losing subscribers because I barely post on it anymore than my live streams. My live games. Oh, yeah, that's the way it is.
Unless you're Critical Role,
no one gives a fuck.
No one cares about a live game.
But this way, this is the first month since I've monetized that I won't be getting money because I didn't reach the threshold for a payout from Google.
Right.
Nah, normally I only get about $100, but like, this time I don't even have, I haven't even made the minimum $100 you have to make to get your payout. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess this channel's done. This channel's cooked. But that's okay, I don't mind. I just use it for the live streams and for the live plays, and that's it. Fuck.
Bubba says his highest streams are when he's making a sandwich or cracking jokes. It's like, yeah, I don't know what the rhyme or reason of any of it is. It just seems like shit just happens.
Be right back. Got to do my last 10 minutes of work.
Yep. And then there you are, It's like, some people make channels, they work hard, they do what they do, everything's awesome. Other people make channels, and then for some reason, maybe because they're like mentally unstable or something, they delete all of their content, and then they lose 1,000 subscribers. And okay, that's weird. And that's just the way it is, That is just the way it is. So it turns out I like the game Doom Imperium so much. Struggle Mill Prep Night. Yeah. I like the game Doom Imperium so much that I bought Doom Imperium Uprising, which adds 2 more players and a couple more things. I bought the expansion, X, the X expansion. And I bought the upgrade box, upgrade with 2 Ds for a double dose of that pimp action. That come with like little box dividers so that you can store all your stuff cool. And instead of little colored cubes to represent your soldier, each color has their own soldier, and they all look different, from one to the next. So next time my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are down, because I've got them into that game pretty hardcore. It's going to be on, because we're going to have like all the cool shit for the game, all the cool shit, because that's how I am. That's just how I am. If I get a board game and I like it, I'll go all in. And I'm here to tell you that Dune Imperium, of course, get the Uprising one, because that's basically Dune Imperium 2.0. It's exactly kind of the same game as Dune Imperium, but it adds a bunch of shit. And it costs the same. Get that and find, 1 to 5 friends to play a game with. It's really cool game. You can duke it out for resources and try to bribe the Spacers Guild. It's mostly a meeple placement game, but there is kind of a war game element and there's like 12 elements to it. So we'll just say that there's a lot of elements, a lot of stuff going on. And I, for one, give the game, both Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising, 2 thumbs up. Good games, good board games. And the upgrade kit, I'm a fan of that too. The only thing they did wrong with the upgrade kit, though, is where you put the cards. They made it where it's the size of the cards, but not the size of the cards if the cards are in sleeves, which is stupid, because they sell sleeves specifically for the game. So it's like, all right. I mean, they fit, but they could have made it a little bigger. That's what she said. But anyway, Axes and Allies, man. Shadow and Sun. Except it's just Shadow, no Sun. Or it could be Sun with no Shadow, but on Shadow's account. You never know. Hey, Shadow, how you been? Craven Axes now. We used to play Axes and Allies like crazy style. My brother and all of our friends and all. Shadow and Sun, I've got something that I wanted to show Sun that I thought he'd get a real kick out of. I remember how he had that old school Polish hat. So now I have an old school World War I Prussian hat. And I just thought he'd get a kick out of it. It's an infantry officer's hat. You can tell by the grass green. For whatever reason, the Germans use grass green for infantry, and America uses infantry blue. But I mean, the bill's leather and then patent on this side, and I need to put it in a thing. I need to put it in a thing to get the bill perfectly straight, but it's a wonderful hat. I mean, I'm very happy with it. It's a very nice hat. I would worry if I wore it outside that people would think it was like the wrong war and be like offended or something, but I just say, look, this is a World War I Prussian hat, era 1915-16 type, thing. So get over yourself. I mean, you see a big eagle? No? Okay, calm down. But I'm building up quite the collection of World War I stuff that I didn't even know. I was going through the closet looking at my cosplay. Because I did Death Corps of Krieg, I've got a shit ton of French World War I stuff. Because the Death Corps of Krieg are mostly World War I French. Hey, what's up, Death Angel? How you doing, bro? So I've got that big long Horizon blue French coat with 33s on the side, and I've got all the gear and everything that's French style. And then I've got a Prussian jacket. That's an infantry officer's jacket with red piping that goes with this hat. So at some point I'll get a pair of pants, and I'll get some medals to put on the Prussian jacket. And I need some shoulders, but I already ordered some reproductions, and it's 22nd Prussian Infantry. So, you know what the only problem is with me and all my cosplay stuff? I only ever wear it in this room. It's like I have all these cosplay things that I could wear, you know, Death Corps of Krieg. I've got, you know, of course, you know, I've got my Civil War, and I've got my bugle, which shows I'm a lieutenant. You know, so I could do Civil War, Orphan Brigade, so Kentucky. And I've got the flag for Kentucky. I could do World War I German or French. And if I look around hard enough, I could probably find my chainmail halberd and my helmet. I know it's around here somewhere. And, you know, I'd have the whole Romano Goth thing going. But I never leave the house. So you guys are the only ones who ever get to see any of my cosplay stuff. Janet.
Hey, what's up, Janet?
What's up, Janet? How you doing? Vacay over. He's back home and working. Yeah, we were up in Georgia most of last week for a wedding. Beautiful wedding. My nephew that's in the Navy got married. He's an officer, so he was in the Navy whites with the submarine badge and all that crazy shit. And, you know, and his wife looked like a Greek goddess. She was just absolutely beautiful. But her mother's from the country next to Morocco. Not Libya on the other side. Starts with a T. Tunisia. And so, you know, they got that Mediterranean blood in them. And
hey, Janet, I got a topic for you.
There was an honor guard of all Navy officers in their dress whites. I mean, just a beautiful wedding. I was showing off all my cosplay hats and stuff and saying, you guys are the only ones who get to see them, though. Because I never wear them to any events because I don't go.
What's up, Bear?
We were over in Huntsville. Well, yeah, parts of Alabama are pretty good. Then John Milson, oh my God. Yeah, that's way down there near Verona and all the streets named after Romeo and Juliet. But Death Angel used to live in this area. His wife used to make me my pub sub every shift when we went to Publix to get a sub when I was on shift. But yeah, I think Jackie will get a kick out of the World War I hat because he's got that crazy Polish cavalry hat.
Dude, the kid's got like 50 hats. I'm not even kidding.
Hey, a man of many hats.
His favorite, though, is his boater hat. You know, the shaky straw hat pizza. He wears that one more than any other hat. I don't get it, but
well, man of many hats has certain cultural connotations within the Jewish community, but you know, whatever. Just like Mensch. In German, it means nothing. In Yiddish, it means everything. You know what I mean?
sure.
The amount of times I've had to explain mitzvah is insane.
Right. It's just, well, whatever. It's all good. I went today to my doctor's office, and you guys would have cracked up because I wore my Captain Kirk shirt.
Good for you.
To see my psych doctor, who is a retired lieutenant commander from the Navy. So I walked in, and the first thing I said is, "Oh, Rinky now." And he looked at the sleeve, and he said, "Actually, you don't. You're a lieutenant commander also." And I said, yes, but I'm in command of a starship. And that makes me a captain. And he said, you're right. You're a line officer. and then we chatted about all the drugs he was going to give me and how I was doing, and everything was positive. And I talked to my little Puerto Rican therapist lady, and we had a great time, a lot of laughs. And they decided not to lock me up this week. We'll see next month. So, here's hoping.
So hey James, since you're a big painter, are you participating in Mini Warmutt's September challenge?
No.
No.
And you didn't have to call me fat. We all can't have a beautiful body like you. Big painter, get it?
Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
Dude, it was right there. You said,
It
since
went
you're
right over
such
my
a
head,
big
man.
painter, I know the English language, right? It's weird because it could mean a couple things, right?
Yeah,
He lives in American Mexico. He doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, britches
I-
in
I,
June, too. Yeah,
I bought a-
Beelzebub, when I dressed
Gracioso. That's what you
I
should have
dressed
said.
up in my full Death Corps of Creed uniform for a Halloween party and thought I was going to die. But then again, October in Florida, it was like, I don't know, 85. And then I'm wearing that long ass Horizon Blue French wool trench jacket. And then everything's covered, gloves and gaiters and boots and the wool pants. And man,
I made the mistake of mowing my lawn before, at around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was already 110. So my brain's a little fried, but
I didn't even know you guys had lawns.
Anyways, pardon?
I didn't even know you guys had lawns.
Well, we have dead grass during the summer.
Scrub. They have scrub.
In my mind, I imagined your front yard was just like a bunch of pebbles, like you get out of a stream.
No,
And
a lot of
maybe
my
some
neighbors have
kind of
done
yucca
that.
or cactus plant in the middle. With
No,
some
we have a
stone
lot.
around
We have a lot of fruit trees in the front yard. Believe it or not. So we have grass as well, or at least we try to have grass. During the summer, it's just yellow weeds, and during the fall and winter, it comes in nice, and it helps retain the water for the peach trees, and I forget what else we have in the front yard.
When I went to Death Valley for desert training, we stopped, I think it was Fort Ord, and there was no grass. Everywhere you would think there was grass, it was just pebbles. And then occasionally there would be like a cactus or some kind of desert plant with like decorative stones around it and pebbles.
We've got a lot of cactus here because Grandma eats them.
Yeah. I've had cabbage at the Mexican restaurant before, or not cabbage, cactus at the Mexican restaurant before.
Yeah, it's just like overdone green beans. They're just mushy.
Yeah. They cut the way the Mexican restaurant here does is they take the petal or whatever and they cut it like that, so it's like strips.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm never going to order it again, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I don't really eat a lot of vegetables anyway, so it really didn't have much chance.
That's
I
probably
eat more sauerkraut than anything else. Go figure, right?
Right. So I had a little. Actually, I had a whole conversation with myself the other day. Before Bear joined me on the stream, I had a stream going, except it wasn't going out.
See you tonight, Bubba.
See you later, bro. And it said I had one viewer for like an hour and a half. And I finally called my brother and said, join me on this. I've been here for an hour and a half. I've got one viewer. No one's talking. And he said, you're not even live, bro. And I'm like, the thing says I'm live. I mean, it says I'm live and I've got one viewer. And I'm like, who is this one viewer then? And I came to a wild conclusion. And the reason, I know I'm not being brief, and I know brevity is the soul of wit, but your shirt. I had to come to the conclusion yesterday that I am no longer a D&D geek.
How do you figure?
Don't want to play it. Not interested in it. Don't give a shit about it.
You playing more sci-fi now?
More anything but D&D.
I feel you.
I've got my one D&D game on Sundays, which is still a lot of fun, but I'm getting ready to run a Savage Swords by the Red Room, which is a phenomenal game. I just hope I can do it justice. So I'm reading everything Robert E. Howard and all my Savage Sword of Conan comic books and Cull and everything, just trying to cram for this game.
Well, sounds to me like you're having a blast getting ready to play a game.
Yep. I'm
Because
actually
reading R.E. Howard and Savage Sword of Conan, that's a blast.
right. I'm actually writing a module. Hopefully, Miguel will publish for it to show people, the kind of stereotypical
Did I show this
Conan-esque
guy on
adventure. What do you got
yesterday?
there?
I'm shaky as hell, guys. Sorry.
Who is that?
That is the comedian.
Comedian.
Really?
He's got the red, white, and blue shoulder pad, and then on the other side,
Right.
he's got the blue with the American star.
I love
And
that
if you
you got
look
that.
really
the
close
pin.
on the
Yeah.
chest,
I love that you got that. That's amazing. That
the
must have taken
smiley
forever.
face pin.
Yeah. The only Watchmen minis I ever, the old '80s Grenadier models, the box set of lead minis, and I won't touch those because they're 25.
Yeah, these
mil.
are 3D printed, so
I could get into getting
and you can
those.
get
I'm
them.
actually
I think the person I actually didn't even 3D print these because even though I've had the replacement UV screen or whatever for my Saturn Ultra, I'm too lazy to do the 25 hours of labor it's going to take to replace it. So I'm just sitting here looking at it, which means I haven't printed anything.
I know the
But I have
feeling.
gone on Etsy, and let me tell you, Etsy has literally anything.
So back to fantasy role playing games. I love the
you want
fact
to talk more
that
shit about that?
Death Angel says he's all in on Castles and Crusades. I love that. Anybody who's in on Castles and Crusades, I have a lot of respect for because the trolls are great guys. Like, just they're amazing. The Chenault brothers are really great guys. Or sorry, as Americans would say it, Chenault.
Chenault,
I can't.
thought it was.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Actually, I
I'm in-
usually say it without saying the LT, Chenault.
Yeah, it should be Chenault because that's French. But I have a friend of mine who's an American Army Ranger, whose family name is Robillard, but he's American, so it's Robiliard. You know what I mean? So it's Robillard in French, but it's Robiliard in American.
One of my fastest.
Do you remember the Secretary of Defense, whatever his name was, or the other who he was, Boucher, Anthony Boucher?
Boucher.
Yeah, Boucher, right? So it's just fun. But anyway, yeah, so I have nothing but respect for the Castles and Crusades guys. I heard that Draw Steel finally launched, and it's apparently
I'm looking forward to their
edition.
John Carter take. I'm in Bloodworth's Castles and Crusade game every Tuesday. Been in his game for like almost 3 years now. I'm not a real big fan of the Castles and Crusades game mechanics itself, but I love them when it's used for the Amazing Adventures pulp style.
So you like the siege mechanic, but you don't like it for fantasy.
What I really don't like are the way they made the character classes in Castles and Crusades. A lot of them are kind of weak and watered down. There's really nothing special about them. All the cool stuff has been pared away.
I disagree wholly on that because they're very
I have
first
the
edition.
exact opposite opinion.
Yeah, I will not agree on that one. Sorry.
I actually thought the Bard.
It's okay. Listen, everyone has their taste.
I like a little bit more fantastic. The Ranger does nothing.
Yeah, we know you're in the Ardenwen. You want UFOs and weird.
I like the old Ranger from AD&D. I liked what the Druid could do with the shape changing and some other things that just
Shadow. We all know Druids are evil.
That's why I want them to change into animals. I was just going through my ROM comic books this morning, and it brought back so many memories of all the way the Wraith could, shape change into different things. That's such an awesome power when you think about it. For infiltration.
Dire Wraiths?
Yes.
The Dire Wraiths who had to kill the person they were taking the form of?
Well, they were great bad guys. Yes.
They were good bad guys. They weren't great bad guys.
Well, for the ROM story, they were fantastic. They were perfect because it gave that dichotomy every time Rom would, do away with them, send them to the Phantom Zone or whatever, people thought they were killing them. He was killing them, but he wasn't. He was just banishing them, and it took a lot.
You say changing shape, and my brain immediately, look at that. My brain immediately went to Beast Boy. I was like,
Beast Boy was a fun character. Teen Titans was
you're gonna play
one of my favorites.
You're gonna turn into an elephant or something?
Yeah, they could. There was one bad guy who turned into a woman who was fond of turning into, I think, a crow to escape situations. But speaking of a monumental task, like your 25 hours of working on your 3D printer, I've got 15,000 comic books I have to replace all the bags and boards because they haven't been replaced in decades.
Well, I don't envy you that.
No,
but
it sucks.
As interests my dear friend Bear, who I think needs something to keep him occupied right about now, since everything I'm reading about our great neighbor to the north is negative. No, and I don't even mean that as a dig. I'm just saying. Let's
Pierre
because they're going through some shit.
Pierre probably have won his seat in Crowfoot, and that means when the Parliament goes back into session, he'll be back as the leader of the opposition, which means Carney's going to get his feet put to the fucking fire in a way that he's never seen. Carney is not able to think on his feet, and Pierre Poilievre is an attack dog when he gets in there. So it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. But anyway, see,
Carney is an absolute failure as a prime minister. So
I will always kind of have a nostalgic love for AD&D and DX.
Yeah.
I think, guys, I've just played it too much.
Sometimes we need a break.
40 years, you're just like, really, dude?
Sometimes we need a break, guys. It's
not even a break. It's like, how many times can a sorted random group of retards go into a sorted dungeon and do a sorted thing?
How many times can a sorted group of retards... Hang on. How many times can an assorted group of retards get on camera with you and hang out and talk shit for a couple of hours? Apparently, it's endless, sir.
Right.
Endless.
Right.
Yeah, but I never know what you guys are going to do.
That goes for the party.
No, because I drew the dungeon. They can only go this way, that way, or the other.
Oh, no, I can't tell you how many people I've had just nope out of some of my pre-planned adventures. It's like, okay, last week they said they're going to do this. I get ready for the thing that's this, and the next time they show up, they've somehow been like communicating, without me around, deciding, oh no, we're going to do something completely freaking different.
Somehow there is this thing called the internet.
Well, even back in the day, that we had this thing called the telephone. People used to use for communicating.
Back in my day, we had this thing called the vaudeville. Give me a C, a bouncy C.
Hey, Janet, I've got a great topic for a show or a deep dive that you might be interested. I'll hit you up on Discord. So when you see my message,
she was in fact not interested.
Yep. It's not for the faint of heart. Let's put it that way.
Oh, dear God.
Anyway, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like anyone gives a shit whether I'm playing a particular game or not. But
no, and I get that. I
no longer consider myself a D&D guy. As a matter of fact, guys, I just bought the bundle for the new Coriolis.
That one
didn't do no interest for me.
Endless Dark or whatever it's called.
Well, it's just if I'm going to do sci-fi, I'm just going to stick with classic Traveler. I can do whatever I want with Traveler, and to a lesser extent, Star Frontiers. It's got to be something, although I'll take that back. I am going to probably look at Red Room's Final Frontier, see how they do it. You guys,
I literally have zero interest in anything from Red Room. I don't know why. I just have nothing I've heard about that makes me want to buy their products.
Trust me, I don't know anybody who does it better, does the research and puts the love into any genre they decide to tackle.
I'll take your word for it.
I can say
I might have to send you one of their books. Just
the guy that works at Red Room is really cool on X.
they're some of the best.
Tracy, it's too loud, baby.
They're like I said, every
The
everything
TV's
I
way
look
loud.
at of theirs, I
Thank
would
you.
love to be in one of those games.
No, I don't know. I just have no interest.
Well,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Just something about it just made me go, ugh. You know what I mean? Like just
The
ugh.
rules are just them or
them.
Oh,
them.
okay. I could see how they'd rub you the wrong way, maybe. But honestly,
I don't know. It's just something happened. And I was just left going, not interested in any of this shit.
Was it when they got banned from Drive Through RPG for putting out the Manly Man game or whatever?
Oh yeah,
no, it's the shitty AI art they use that bothers me a lot because you got to do better when you're using AI art. You have to really, really put an effort into it and make sure it's good. If you just prompt something and then use the first fucking thing that comes up, eventually you're gonna put some shit.
I don't.
They use AI art, dude. It's a known fact.
Well, they did. They don't as much now.
Well, no, now they got money.
Well, not really.
If they're buying art, they've got money because art is not cheap, brother.
Well, they're also in Portugal, so it's probably cheaper, and they have access to cheaper markets.
Do you understand the European market? It's not cheaper, son.
Really?
Unless you're buying art from the Eastern... Okay, there's 3 places you can get cheap art. South America, specifically Brazil, because that's about the only place I've ever found artists. Eastern Europe, specifically mostly Czechoslovakia, that type of area. You'll find it in the Czech Republic. Poland a little bit, but even then they're a little expensive because they're in the EU, so their prices are higher. And the Philippines. Problem with the Philippines is you might find a great guy or girl, they're amazing and fantastic, and then a fucking hurricane rips through their village and you don't hear from them for 8 months.
Yep.
It's just the way it is.
For me, having grown up with things like Traveler and other things that had really crappy art, like the first 5 things TSR ever did, their AI art isn't the worst, and I get it. When you're putting out like a 900-page book, or 600 or 400, and you've got to fill spaces, and you're literally doing everything with 2 people, I could see how you would just make some AI art and go, that'll do.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's lazy. Okay, and one of the biggest things I'll criticize in writing is lazy writing. I hate lazy writing.
That's definitely not something you'll find there.
No, I'm not sure about that, but I'm just saying, like, when I see that you're going to cut corners, I start worrying. And I start going, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to support that. Now, on their webpage, and I'm trying to find this fucking game you're talking about.
Which one?
Savage Swords?
And I don't even see the Red Room, Wretched Role-Playing Game, blog, guide to the Wretched Verse, about the Red Room. Like, there's no, shop. Okay, finally found something called Shop. Is this going to give me a list of games from them? Oh, were you over on the Yield Geeks drinking game? That's
nice.
Fun.
Yeah.
Man, Mainstorm, Wretched. What is Pundit? What is Pundit Files? Is that RPG Pundit?
Yes.
Ugh.
I don't know anything about the guy. There's a couple people out there I've never had any.
There's only one thing you need to know about the pundit. He wears an ascot.
Yeah.
Wait. Now I know 2 things. He also smokes a pipe.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, the pipe smoking is like whatever, but the ascot, that's like that's another level of just like, what are you trying to do, bro? Really? You're wearing you're not Freddy. Velma's nowhere around. What are you doing with an ascot? And I say this as a guy that owns a lot of his shit. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love Baptism of Fire, which he did. Mm-hmm. And I now absolutely love The Last Vikings, which he did with Mad Musing. But
hey, what's up, George? And he's a cat person, yeah.
And he's into like weird coffee. Like he can't just drink normal coffee. He's got to put yogurt in it. And
what the shit?
Yeah.
My big problem with Pundit is that he does the I know everything and you're all wrong attitude, which annoys the fuck out of me. But that was from the old days on the RPG site where his
that's still
it's still there, I know, but everything I knew about him I needed to know from one thing only. His fucking avatar on that the forums was Daniel Day-Lewis from fucking Gangs in New York. And it's like, oh, you think you're that guy. Got bad news for you, son. You're not that guy. You know, you are not that fucking guy.
Now, can he research a bunch of shit and
sure
write a bunch of shit? Yeah, he can. Is he a filthy neocon that's lives in freaking South America. Yeah, he is.
Why does he live in
Yeah.
South America?
Well, the
Because he
rumor
wants
is
to live
he.
in South America.
No,
He's
no,
originally a
no.
Canuckistanian.
He's from Alberta, and originally the rumor is that he may have been involved in either an accident that caused a fatality, or something else, and basically fled to where is he? He's in
Uruguay.
Uruguay, because there's no extradition between Canada and Uruguay.
Well, if it had anything to do with kids, then
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never
I
heard
don't know.
anything such as this. Bill the
It was
Butcher,
it was
yeah,
it was
that
a
guy.
big rumor about 10, 15 ago. Yeah.
Also,
Or the-
Caspar Urbanski is not his name. It is,
No.
however, the name of a Polish king from like the 10th century.
All right, $21 for a PDF. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
Jesus
so Steve.
Christ.
Well, there's right now there's a 35% off code. I think they use the codes as sort of a kind of like a not just a marketing tool, but like
$92 for the hardcover on Lulu.
yeah. I sprung for it, but it's not that expensive here, and I got 15% off.
Funk. I was gonna give them a try, but I'm not paying that kind of money for fucking no way.
I'll see what I can do. Maybe
No.
I can get them to send me something I can send you just so you can take a look at it. And
I'd be happy.
and-
Listen, I'd be happy to even review it for my channel and my Patreon if they want. But it's just like I'm not paying that price for sight unseen. Ain't happening.
let's put it this
that
way.
would
Bear, let
really
me
be a
put it
big
this way.
problem, though, Bear, because like $92, you should be able to go wade out into a stream somewhere and gather up enough pebbles to equal that, right? Isn't that how
Okay.
Canadians use money?
Bear, let me put it to you
Like
this way.
rocks and squirrel hides?
Bear, check this out. I bought the soft cover book. It was like $50, right?
Yeah.
I liked it so much and knew that I was going to run it so much that I had to go and buy the hardcover afterwards, which is like $20 more or something, because I knew that the soft cover wasn't going to survive my going through the book. If you know what I mean, like a typical Palladium book, it's that kind of a cover. And you know, if you've had any of those games, you know that after a year or two, that cover is just trashed from use. So I
will take your word for it. If they want to comp me a PDF to review, I will. And if I fall in love with it as much as you seem to have, I will fucking go sell my sperm and buy a hardcover copy off Lulu. Okay?
You're very tall, so you probably would get a lot of money for your sperm.
Yeah, but I'm also fat and diabetic.
Yeah,
But
but
don't tell them you're
that's
fat and
all
diabetic.
things that
Well, they're gonna be able to see me walking in the door, so that's like
That's the joke.
that's kind of fucked on that one. As for the diabetes in Canada, when you donate sperm, which by the way you can't make money for here, you have to disclose all your medical history.
Well, down here, if you're really desperate, you can just sell blood.
Yeah, we can't do that here either.
Huh. Wow, because they'll give you $50 for like a pint.
Yeah, and you guys can sell plasma, which they give even more for.
Yeah,
instead.
plasma. Yeah.
But we can't do that here. We
Which,
can donate it.
whoever's
Absolutely.
selling it or giving it away, thank you, because when you run on a trauma patient that got ripped apart on the highway, I mean, the hospital loves it. They can put something in them because all I can put in them is normal saline at the time. But
CSIO.
but yeah,
What is CSIO?
I am just over fantasy, not reading it because I
Playing
still
it.
love reading.
Mhm.
I'm
stuff,
with you.
but
I am so fucking
just
with you.
playing it.
Like we wound up taking a break from the D&D 5e game because Marco had some family stuff he had to deal with, so he wasn't going to be around for the games, and we didn't want to play without him. And once I had a week or two away from playing the fantasy campaign, I was like, I have no interest in running a fantasy campaign.
So what are some genres you guys are interested in tackling?
I'm really enjoying my superheroes right now. Like I'm feeling that revival again, which is really fun. Beyond that, I'm having an off again, on again feeling for Cyberpunk, but it never lasts. And maybe some urban fantasy is interesting to me. But when I say urban fantasy, I mean like in the Buffy Angel variety, or like Bright. Bright. is interesting to me.
When I'm done with my superhero thing I'm working on, I'll shoot it your way and see what you think, because I think I sort of hit something that kind of scratches a bunch of itches that need scratching right now for a lot of
Mhm.
people, because we don't have anything like that. Supernatural's no longer on the air. Um, all the other, Buffy and Angel and all those shows are gone. I don't know that there's anything like that unless it's, one of the like H.P. Lovecraft kind of things going.
D20 Modern had a
Yeah.
source book called Urban Arcana.
Urban Arcana, but instead of D20 Modern, I have Everyday Heroes, which is just D20 Modern updated, right?
What'd you think
And,
of? Well, that's not really the same thing.
What?
I was going to say Victor's Modern Necessities, but
I love all of Victor's stuff, but it's not for a game I want to run.
yeah, it came across very, very. What was the name of that game? Raul Partha.
It's OSC.
It's very OSC.
Shadowrun.
No, I don't think so. I didn't feel it came across
Well,
Shadowrun, and
with
it's
the
not Rail
orcs and
Partha.
the
That was
elves.
FASA. Shadowrun was FASA, and now it's Catalyst.
Oh no, I was
or-
thinking the miniatures. Raul
Oh,
Partha.
I don't give a fuck about miniature Shadow.
That's
Come
how
on,
I
son.
remember things. 'Cause
Come
I
on, son.
but it's with the elves and the orcs and the trolls and stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That makes him happy, and it's good. I think Victor's a very good writer.
He is.
I think he produces very good material, and I wish him nothing but success. And I hope to God when he finally gets around to releasing his game, which is Streets of Magic, I hope the fuck it blows up.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
hope the fuck it blows up big for him.
There's a bunch of people out there right now that are trying to ride the coattails of Shadow Dark, and I'm like, you're better than that. Go do your own thing.
Do what I do. Ride the coattails of a 30-year-old fucking superhero game from TSR. That's what you do.
Well,
That's the ticket.
I don't know the system, so it's hard to say whether that's a mistake or if you should just do your own thing. But I know how hard it is.
I debated. So I have a home system for superheroes, and it's a good system. But when I at the time was trying to decide what Heroic was going to be, I got a lot of do Heroic as a phase rip, as everyone calls it, Marvel Superheroes clone instead. And I said, okay, well, I will, but it's going to have its new rules in it. But it was literally down to a coin toss for me which way I was going to go.
Really? Yeah. See, I need to find a game to run my superhero thing, but I don't know what game. And to be honest, when I had the Marvel game, it was so long ago, and I was so young that I just couldn't wrap my head around the mechanics. But I have this idea I do want to steal from everybody's least favorite game of all time, because it does.
Cinnabar.
No, I was going to say Amber.
Fatal.
Amber.
Hole.
Amber's not my least favorite game.
Yeah, people love that game. Hey, I gotta check on my supper. I'll be right back.
People either love it or hate it. I'll wait till Barrett comes back to finish.
Yeah, well,
my thought.
Shadow, the thing with Amber is you have to sit down with 4 to 5 players, a DM that actually has read the Zelazny book.
Yeah.
And everyone has to buy into the setting.
Right. Well, what a lot of people,
yeah, you're going to
what
have
a lot of people did in the Amber group was they created or they ran what was called Amethyst, which is a different version of Amber. It's still the original Amber, but it's called Amethyst. That way you can make a whole lot of things different, but still make it brand new, so that you're not, you didn't have to run with Corwin and Random and Oberon and all the characters from there. You could make it your own.
We didn't
You're
do
basically
that. Didn't you know there's a character creation thing in there?
Oh yeah. I know Amber like the back of my hand.
That's what we did. We all got the points and we bid.
That's the part I want to steal, Bear. In Amber, I don't know if you're familiar with it. There was at the beginning of the game when you're making up characters, you have points, and you
There's
bid,
a bidding war.
right? And you bid on whether you want to be the strongest or the smartest or whatever. Well, I want to do that, but with the actual powers. So, like, okay, if you remember in like Heroes, the TV show, did you like it?
It was all right. The first season was okay.
Okay. I like the idea where there's only one person with X power at the beginning. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Only
sure.
one guy who can fly, or one guy who's the super speedster, or whatever.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to have people bid on a list of powers, so that to see who gets these powers, and as they're bid upon, they're taken off the list. So if you really wanted that super healing, you're going to drop some points to pay for it, so to speak. And then the same
I feel
thing.
you.
That way, everybody, like in a lot of games I've been in, everybody goes for the super healing, because it's why wouldn't you want to have that power? So you just keep
So A, it sounds like niche protection with extra steps, which is fine. But it also shows me that people that you've been playing with have no fucking idea how superheroes are. Because if your goal is to sit down and make the baddest character you can who has all the greatest powers, well, go play fucking, what's that, Exalted. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if
I
you're playing a
hate
superhero game, you should have a concept for your superhero.
Mm.
And your character, if your character doesn't logically have a reason to have super healing or fast heal or whatever, why the fuck would they have it? Oh, because it's awesome. Well, then go play another fucking game, or go play fucking HeroClix. You know what I Like, Jesus, I hate that. That fucking pisses me off so much in superhero games. People who don't get it.
In some of, or at least I should say, my last group of superhero players, it was a mixed bag of some people had read comic books and some people had never read a single comic book, and so they're going over the mechanics versus going from
I get it.
the love of superhero comics in general, which
Exactly.
You would think
Therefore, they ruin everything. Man.
It's funny that you
some of them are still good.
this stuff up, guys.
Sorry, what was that, James?
I said it's funny that you bring this stuff up. First off, Shadow, to answer your question, what am I running? Doom. I've been running it for a few months, having a blast. My players love it. 2, if and when, and it's going to be a when, the Doom game comes to a close, everybody dies, whatever happens, I might actually run a superhero game for once in my life.
But did he decide to run Heroic? No, why would he do that? He went and instead bought the Marvel Multiverse RPG. Son of a...
I did. Hey, I backed you $50.
I know, but you see, the game's there for you to run, brother.
And maybe I will. Here's the problem, though. I hate face rip.
Yeah, well, that's because you've never played it properly, and no one ever showed you how it works like a fucking dream.
I will agree with you, but when they released Gamma World 3rd Edition face rip, and then Zebulon died face rip, I was like, no, F this shit.
And Conan had the same thing. It wasn't phase rip. None of them were phase rip. They were just using color charts. So
yeah, those weird spectrum charts.
They're fun. They're fun.
Okay.
They're fun.
You have
but
the
thing is, okay, so I have a bunch of friends in Vancouver who were big Champions fans, and then they were big Mutants and Masterminds fans. And they agreed to let me run them through a Marvel game, not using Heroic, because Heroic didn't exist yet. Just run a Marvel game. They're like, this fucking game, I hate this game. We'll let you. They bitched for one session. Second session, they were asking questions. Third session, they were figuring out the mechanics. Fourth session, they were mastering the mechanics. And then when the campaign was over, my buddy Theo looked at me and said, he goes, I still don't like the game, but you make it sing. And that's what Heroic is. It's me going, basically taking the lyrics to the old song and writing a new song out of it that honors that old song, but actually is better structured, in my humble opinion.
I got a comment. I do not recite the Litany of Fear. I do recite the blessing of Shai-Hulud. Blessed be the maker and his water. Blessed be his coming and going.
Yes.
All that sort of thing.
So you want to talk about weird? When I
cleanse and preserve the earth for his people.
When I used to teach customer service tech support for a couple of different Canadian cell phone companies back in the day, in my class, when I was teaching them how to handle customers, I would write the litany against fear on the board and explain to them, when you're getting overwhelmed and you're feeling bad, just run this through your head. Just repeat this quietly to yourself and you'll find your center. Fuck 'em, man. Subversive, but fun.
Right. And then when I log on to Dune Awakens, the MMO, the first thing I put in general chat is, Another blessed day to serve our beloved Baron. Because my character's full-blown Arconian. People are like, why? Why not?
That is why my plan, the plan.
The plan. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good movie.
You know, and
I like the
Training
first Denny
because I
Villeneuve one.
watched part 2 again, and when they go to Fade Rotha's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we should end the fight, blah blah blah, and the Baron's all like, and ruin his birthday, whatever. And Fade takes the shield off and throws it away, and he fights that last Atreides guy. Do you know what they left out? The crowd was calling for the Atreides guy's head. They wanted his head, and Fade said no. Have him buried with full honors and his sword. He fought well. And then the crowd went nuts because they were all like, oh my God, Fade is like the best ever, you know. And that's when he went in there and had his talk with the Baron. And the Baron was like, you know, you used to be a playboy. Now you're a hero. You know what I mean? And it would have took Villeneuve literally 1 minute to put that in. And it would have changed much.
They don't. But problem is that they never know how to do Fade on screen because they just want him to be a villain. Fade is more complex than just being a villain.
That's why
George, to answer your question, we have Worm Sign, the likes of which God himself has never seen.
Yeah, even God has never seen. Yeah.
Which I always thought was a pretty blasphemous thing.
I still love the 86 Dune.
I love that movie.
People can talk all the shit they want.
Yeah, well, people get their heads up their ass 90% of the time.
Anyway, I always thought that was a pretty blasphemous thing for Stilgar to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, maybe God has never seen that amount of Worm Sign.
Is it possible? Isn't God
Well, I mean, God exists at all times and all places, so
he's seen it, you know?
Well, he saw that very moment just a long time ago.
Don't be a fucking Stilgar apologist, Shadow.
You know what? I don't even want to get involved.
I was talking about God. God saw Stilgar say that before Stilgar said that.
Unless you have converted the water of life, we should not be talking about it.
Oh.
This is above our pay grade.
Oh, sounds like someone's been drinking the Bene Gesserit bullshit.
Not me. I'm saying unless you have, it's above our pay grade. We need to stick to shield fighting and the slow blade.
I, sir, feel the call of the Zen Sunni mystic in my blood. The Bene Gesserit can shut the fuck up. And then while they're at it, they can take the Bene Twi'leks with them. They can grab the fucking Ixians. And then when these honored Matres come along, they can take those bitches too. But
I don't know. Ixians.
I agree with the God Emperor. The worst thing that happened in that universe was religion.
You know, but that's the funny thing about the God Emperor and the God Emperor. They both tried their best to stomp out religion, but they both knew it was true.
I disagree.
You know what I mean?
I disagree with that assessment. I think that's you projecting onto it, and that's what makes Dune good, though. That's what makes Dune good is that you can project.
The Warhammer God Emperor knows for a fact gods exist.
Fucking Warhammer! I'm gonna go check myself.
Well, when I said God Emperor and God Emperor, I was saying both.
No, I get it, but at the same time, I'm saying why, when we're discussing Dune, do you have to discuss fucking Walmart house brand Dune, Great Value Dune,
Timo Dune,
Kirkland Dune?
Wow,
Wish Dune.
I don't know. I don't know,
George. I got to admit, I've been checking out a Sardaukar uniform. If I buy it a little at a time, it's definitely within reach. Helmet and all. And then I'll have to learn how to speak Sardaukar, which is very difficult because all of the letters are clipped and, you know, it's super like at the beginning of the new Dune when you hear the guy and he's like, Omni. And then underneath it says, dreams are fish from the deep. Or messages from the deep, and like in the Sardaukar language, it was just a short little thing, but the meaning was huge because That's how they are.
So the exact opposite of Spanish.
Yes. Well, my therapist is Spanish, and we had a whole talk about linguistics. Why English is the way it is because it's a language designed by warriors to fight wars, and then we adopted a lot of loan words from the people we conquered. So basically, in English, anything that's more than one syllable is a borrowed word, a loan word from like French or Spanish or Latin or something.
Not necessarily.
Not,
No.
come on now. I'm painting with a broad brush.
Okay, I was going to say it's a very broad brush, very broad.
Not fully actually. And almost every single word in the English language that's monosyllabic is Germanic.
Actually, the majority of the English language is fused from the combination of Anglo-Saxon and Norman French.
I know. That's why I was saying it's a warrior's language. So, like, if I were to say to you, Lieutenant Shadow, take your men up that hill in English, right? You just heard what I said, right? Now, try to translate that shit into Spanish.
It would take like 12 more
we'll be
syllables.
standing here for 3 minutes.
Oh my God, it drives me nuts.
Because
I have to deal with it on a regular basis, and
yeah, she was telling me how
okay, so in French, Lieutenant Shadow, après tes hommes et prenez ce col.
Yeah, but
that's not even accurate. Let me get the accurate translation on that.
I mean, the French were badasses a couple of times, though.
I know, but I want the accurate translation on that one because that's a weird statement. So, as Lieutenant Shadow, gather your men.
Well, I got a bone to pick.
And take that hill. Lieutenant Shadow, rassemblez vos hommes et prenez cette colline.
So what the shit? I was demoted? What the fuck did I do?
Horrible. Well, I'm pretending I'm a captain. So you're a lieutenant. And it was only for pretend. I know you outranked me. You got the nicer hair. So my doctor informed me today that I'm 54. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm 55. And he said, no, you're 54. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm 55. And he said, you were born in 71, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're 54. I was like, I've been telling everybody I'm 55 for like a year.
Liar. So I am the older man in this for this dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
win. You
weird,
better start giving me some fucking respect, Junior.
So when were you born, Bear?
70.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit.
No. Listen, we know you're as old as fucking dirt. We know, Shadow.
Right.
We're all
Well, dirt
and
was
and furthermore, Lieutenant Shadow, rassemblez vos hommes et prenez cette colline, s'il vous plaît. Tout de suite.
Man, I love French.
Why?
There's nothing sexier than a hot woman speaking French.
Yeah, see, I have the misfortune of growing up in the one place in the world where speaking French doesn't get you laid.
I can think of like a whole bunch of things sexier, but I'm not going to go into it right now.
Please don't.
Because it's probably illegal. And you'll get my thing banned, and then I'll be like tarred and feathered.
I would definitely get you banned, but it's not illegal.
Well, on that sad note, it's my supper time. I need to go eat. So I will leave you two gentlemen to your discussion of miniatures and mayhem and Temu.
We weren't talking about miniatures. We were talking about how I'm over D&D. Again, this ain't the first time.
We'll let you go back to that then. But it was lovely speaking to you all, and we'll see y'all later.
Take care.
Ow!
Enjoy your meat.
Why you climb me with all your fucking claws out, asshole?
Because it's a cat. It's its nature.
It's nature to fly in a minute. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So, first off, Dune, I don't consider to be a sci-fi game.
Yeah, I heard your discussion on that the other day.
Yeah. So, we're having pretty much fun with that. And then after Dune, may play the Marvel game. And since the Marvel game comes with like all the Marvel superheroes pre-generated, They can either just pick which hero they want to play, or they can make their own. The only failing in my plan is they don't have any stats for DC heroes. So if you wanted to play Lobo, you would have to decide what power level Lobo would be, and then his abilities, which would be.
Do you have the Marvel game?
He's good with guns,
Do you have the Marvel game?
Yes.
Do you have the advanced version or the basic?
I have the big hardbound red Marvel.
Oh, okay.
It's new because it's put out by Marvel.
Oh, okay. So that's the. I had that one too, actually.
It uses 3-6.
The Marvel Multiverse.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that one too. I got that one for a game I was supposed
and
to
I've
be
got
in.
the Spider-Verse book.
I got that one because I was supposed to be in a game with Bloodworth and some friends of his, and the guy who was going to run the game just up and disappeared. I was so pissed. I hate when that happens.
Like when Omenau disappeared after promising to run Pugmire.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be running Alien on my show in a couple of months. That'll be fun. But yeah, I'm still itching to play Pugmire one of these days. But,
I made my Pomeranian cleric. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, Mobius. It was like the English-speaking Canadian government bowed down to the French-speaking Quebecois to keep them in the Confederacy. And part of what the Quebecois wanted is to force every Canadian to learn French, which really wasn't fair. It's like if you live in Quebec and you want to speak French, well, speak all the French you want, but you're going to make some dude up in Saskatchewan learn French? Makes no sense, but that's what they did. Now, me personally, if I'd been in, where is it, Ontario, I'd tell the Quebecois to get bent and go their own way. I'd be like, all right, fine, Frenchies, you're out, but, it's okay. You guys will be future Americans soon anyway.
You think?
I think right now we're probably at about a 20%. Like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it could.
Okay.
And we'll see. I mean, frickin' Alberta already told their government to get bent, and they're still selling oil.
Bloodworth is a nice guy. Just he has that same ailment that so many DMs have, which is look over here, a new game.
Who?
Bloodworth.
You know what? I used to be that way, but this Dune game is going to go until fall off of it or not.
We've been around long enough to where at least most of us, there are a few things like we've been waiting for, or things that are like so right up our alley that when we see it, we know we're gonna invest some time in it, versus like a new thing that comes down the pike and we know nothing about it. It looks cool, and then we get it, or not everybody in our circle can afford to get it. So while we get it, nobody else does, and it just sits on a shelf for God knows how long.
That's another great point you bring up. My brother-in-law's copy of the Dune core book just came in, and it would be a real dick move of me to switch games.
Right.
Drop $39 on the book, because you can get it for like $39.
Yeah, like with the Red Room game I was talking about, I knew when I saw it that I was going to dig it because it's by them. And then when I read it, and I'm like, okay, now I have to run this. Well, wait, I not only do I have to run it, I need to buy a better. I need to buy the hardcover copy because I'm going to tear this book up because I'm going to be running through page, and what I need to do is get the PDF and turn parts of the PDF into a DM screen. Even though I'm going to be dungeon mastering online, I still need like a cheat sheet of
having a little cheat sheet right there is awesome.
Yeah, something that should have been in the back of the book, but it wasn't. But then there's like games like, okay, I don't know about you, but I backed the Planet of the Apes Kickstarter.
The what?
Planet of the Apes.
I didn't even know there was a game Planet of the Apes.
Dude, I saw that and it was like, you can't take my money fast enough. I have been a Planet of the Apes fan since it was. I remember when the movies were coming out in the theater. Okay, I was a little too young to be able to go to some of them. My parents weren't going to take me, but as soon as they were on, TV, I was like, my dad said, "Here, watch the first one. You're going to love it." And for the next like 8 years, that was my thing until Star Wars came out as a little kid. And even after that, I was still reading the comic books. I read all the paperback books. It was just that was
Yeah, beneath the Planet of the Apes, where they had an undetonated nuclear weapon or whatever.
and the Kickstarter actually comes with the Alpha Omega bomb as a paintable miniature. It comes with a dice tower that's the Statue of Liberty. It was just full of bells and whistles. Not all of them, you had to. There were some were stretch goals. You know how that works. And when I saw it, it was like I gotta. I've been waiting for this like my whole life. It was like when the Lord of the Rings movies came out, or when the John Carter movie came out. I was like, I've been waiting for this since '77. Okay, I'm in. And I just got a notification from I forget whatever company that put out the Planet Apes Kickstarter that I will be getting my tracking number by the weekend, which means shit next week I'll be getting my Kickstarter probably maybe
Well,
the weekend
have fun.
after. Pardon?
And Mobius, yes, I was just saying it for anybody. I was screaming it into the void. I am well aware that you know a lot more about what's going on in your country than I do. And so, yeah. And then to answer that, there's a couple things. One, the guy who said they wanted to get Wrath and Glory, that is a really good game, but you would be better off with the other game.
Checking right now, Janet.
The other game, what is it called? Something Imperium. It uses kind of the
Twilight.
same dark, whatever it's called. I have it, but I don't want to go look for it. It uses the same systems as Warhammer Fantasy.
It's right up there. Twilight Imperium, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the Warhammer game. There's,
there's
two Warhammer role-playing games. One is Wrath and Glory, and the other one is like something Imperium.
Oh.
Imperium Maleficent or something.
Okay.
Imperium, the Imperium game uses the same rules as the fantasy role-playing game. You might like it a lot better. It's just a percentile-based system, and it does kind of the same thing. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And then the last thing I wanted to say to people who have said things.
Nice,
Death Angel, I actually own a first edition Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook. The Keeper Guide didn't even exist when I bought it. And I recently bought the three homage books. Not that I will ever run Castles and Crusades, but I do like the Troll Lords a lot. So I do support them monetarily, even if I have no interest really in playing their game. But, I've chatted with them a couple of times, and they're great people. And so, Barsoom, it could be a great game. I mean, I don't know.
It's got to be better than the Modifius one.
Yeah, I'm not going to have opinions about the Modifius one because I gave Modifius Dune like the worst review ever years and years ago when I first got it. And then like a year later, I read it and I understood it. And then once I actually understood how the game worked, I realized it's actually a really good game. And it's not as ambiguous and whatever as I thought it was. There is a skill system. There's all this shit. It's just, it's designed in such a different way from a D&D type game that it's like, if you go into it with your mindset for, okay, where's my armor class and where's my hit points, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're going to be like,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll use the Siege engine. Uh, with the John Carter game, I actually have 2 complete copies of everything for it, but
You like it?
I didn't like the mechanics. I don't. I I've said this like 100 times. I get irate when you tell me I have to roll a die to see if I run out of ammo.
My wife's messing with my router. I swear.
What's going on?
Oh,
Yeah.
the internet's being a douchebag.
Oh, one of my pet peeves is rolling to see if you run out of ammo.
When
Okay, I just pulled out my gun from my holster, and I have to roll at the end of this first round of combat to see if I run out of ammo. No,
actually in Conan, how it works is if you crit fumble, you run out of ammo.
I did that on the very first round of combat with my crossbow. I had a full quiver of bolts, and I was running with Crafty Mac Craft. And the very first time I shot my crossbow, I ran out of ammo.
Your character must have really been winging bolts downrange, or maybe you dropped your quiver in the middle of the battle, and there's bolts scattered all over the fucking mud.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's a obstacle. Like in your brain, you're thinking you fired 20 bolts, right? But what actually happened is you maybe fired 1 or 2 and then lost your freaking quiver because you're running around trying not to get your head smashed in by
But I
a bit.
wasn't running. I was just standing there taking shots.
You're ducking and dodging, man. Combat's fucked up.
I should be able to pick them right back up the very next action.
You should, and I would let you. But it would take you an action to try to start grabbing up your freaking quiver. Because what happens if you're ducking and your quiver just tilts out and a bunch of your bolts just fall out?
RPG Dad, I've been looking for that, but I just can't find it anywhere. And okay, well, okay, how do you explain when I'm shooting a laser gun? Same thing. I just pull it out of the holster. It's fully charged. I roll, and suddenly it's empty.
I can't explain that. You thought it was fully charged. It wasn't.
Okay. What if I say, okay, from now on, I'm checking my clips, my magazines, excuse me, for bullets, and I'm making sure they're loaded, all of them, and I'm carrying 30 of them. You know what I mean?
Maybe it malfunctioned.
That's different than you're out of ammo. You know, a gun can jam, a gun can, malfunction. You know, the laser,
Especially if
whatever.
it's a 1914 or a Deagle 50. They definitely can jam.
Yes, but you see my point.
But like a Glock, they don't jam. See, so if
Right.
you're playing
You
a
tell
game
me.
with me and
You
you
tell
have
me my Glock 22.
19, I'd let you get bonuses.
Yeah, you tell me my Glock 22 jammed and is out of ammo. And when I tell you, I'm carrying, 12 mags, and I all hand loaded them myself before the adventure. Can we just eliminate that rule for this session? Because for the game, because I'm going to make it standard operating procedure to eliminate that, mitigate that.
If your character insists on using a crossbow and you're running around with 5 freaking loads of arrows, you probably don't got to worry about it. There's no way you're going to crit fumble 5 fucking times. And if you do, then some spiritual being just has it in for you, bro. And then if you want to have fun, then just think of it like you dropped some or just something happened. There's so many things. I mean, I know you've been hiking and like lost some.
Well, here's my problem though.
You know?
What that means is that 1 in 20 times that's always going to happen.
Yeah, but there's so many skills you can get that allow you to re-roll that.
It was a one shot for the Conan game, but
that's another issue, because if you go down the archer line, there's like shit that allows you to re-roll ones and off, because you know how you got those skill trees. Like, yeah, there's ways to mitigate a lot of this shit that you're complaining about.
Okay,
Now, if
here's
you want
another
to
one.
hate it, if you want to hate it, hate it. I'm not trying to convince you to like it.
No, that's just one of my upper pet peeves.
Oh, I've
The other
got
one,
pet peeves. My pet peeve is wealth.
the other
My
one is
character has wealth too. What the fuck is wealth do?
in Bloodworth's game. Over the course of 2 or 3 adventures, I went through 2 or 3 brand new bastard swords because I rolled a 1 and they shattered.
Well, you must live on a planet where they haven't figured out how to temper steel yet.
Thank you. Steel doesn't do that. I've got a bastard sword here right now, and I would be willing for the right amount of money to go outside, take it, and whack it against the concrete, cement, whatever light poles I have out there
Yeah,
until
but
it's
your
shattered.
sword is probably a 440 tempered stainless steel blade, like from Cold Steel. They never had anything like that in the medieval
No,
age.
it's a wall hanger. It's a wall
Oh,
hanger.
well,
I paid like $60 for it.
because I've got
Yeah.
Cold Steel sword, and
I've got good stuff and I've got bad stuff. This
if
is
that
not
thing got magically transported back to the 10th century, they'd think it was magic.
right.
You know
But
what I mean?
it's not going to shatter. There's a lot of things, bad things that can happen to a steel blade.
Well, it'll break, like in the Conan movie when dude and the blade just
But
breaks.
shattered in a million pieces, I've heard like a dozen times in the last year. I'm exaggerating by a little, but anyways,
No, it wouldn't
it can
really
bend.
splatter.
It could wrap around it and turn into a giant letter U before it's going to shatter.
No. Steel would never do that. Iron would, though.
In a
Steel is
fantasy
a lot
game,
more likely to break than to bend. But iron will bend before it'll break. That's why the ancient Celts fought with those long iron swords. They spent half the time during battles trying to find trees or rocks to straighten the blades out.
right?
Because,
Right.
you hit
You know,
something, the blade would just warp.
The whole 1 in 20 thing, I think, is just it's
5%.
yeah, it's too likely to happen to make it usable in the real world. If it had a 5% chance of failure, it wouldn't make it off the freaking assembly line. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I carried a 1911 in the Army. I give that a 5% of failure every time.
Really?
So, and it was an old one too. The one they gave me, that thing must have been used in Vietnam. I mean, it rattled, and all the black that they put on them was gone. It was straight up just. But because I was a machine gunner, I was expected to carry a sidearm, and that thing was just a pure piece of shit. But Shadow, I'm not even arguing with you because deep down inside, I agree with you in essence. Because the AD&D player in my soul says we keep track of arrows and every damn coin here, and how much water you got and every ration you got and have you ate within the last how many hours. And torches last 1 hour, which means 10 turns in the dungeon.
Which
deep
is
down in my heart, I'm that way. But when I'm playing a game like Conan 2.20 or whatever, it's not even an issue in Doom. You ain't even got to worry.
That's another thing I don't like is like games. And the Red Room does this because he refused to do the bookkeeping, but I do the bookkeeping. I insist on it because that's part of if you go camping, you do the bookkeeping. You may not think
For
about
my
it.
players, it's because it's the fun. The players at my table, most of the time when we're playing a D&D style game, they want to know exactly how much treasure they got.
Exactly.
Like right down to the last copper. They want to know because it's fantasy fulfillment. We're not rich people, but it makes us feel good when our characters got 1,000 platinum in the bank.
Right. Hey, the idea that
a house or something.
The idea that you come into town after an adventure, you got a Conan sack of gold and gems, and the next game it's all gone. Even though you say, "Well, I'm not drinking, and I actually want to spend the money on some better gear." It's like, roll the die. What? What do you mean, roll the die? Just see what happened. I tell you what's happening. I'm going to save my money. I'm not going to get pickpocketed, or I'm going to try not to.
You're
and I'm
talking
try
about the in-between adventures things? Angry tabletop nerd. What up, brother?
What's up, Holy Diver?
You know what that
Yeah,
is?
I hate the idea that my money could just get pissed away when I tell the GM I'm not drinking and carousing and whoring. I need to get some new equipment. I got an idea or an adventure I'm going on, and I'd like to go into it with more than just a sword and a loincloth.
And what I'm going to tell you is shit happens. To quote Forrest Gump, shit happens.
I know.
Yeah, Holy Diver, when I said good luck with Games Workshop the other day, I actually said more, but I think you were already gone. I wasn't trying to like dog on you because you paint Warhammer stuff all the time. I was just saying that Warhammer Games Workshop, whatever, has broken my heart for the last time. And I can't deal with them. I'm done with them. I don't even want to deal with the shit. But I'm not saying you are bad for whatever. But you know what? I'm also done with Wizards of the Coast too. Done with those assholes.
I was done with them a long time ago.
I'm just,
I don't even,
Games Workshop broke my heart too many times. It's like the best rule set, in my opinion, was probably third or fourth. And every rule set since then has been a kick in the nuts. And been worse.
Second was it for me first.
And then this Primaris bullshit. Look, if you wanted true scale Space Marines, just make true scale Space Marines. Don't fuck around with the Primaris. What is that? I'll rant about it. And I'm sitting here with $150 Sanguinius on the shelf. But I'll probably never play that game again because fuck them. Because they made me pay $60 for 5 Space Marines. Because I wanted heavy intercessors. And then I realized you're retarded. That's your problem. And that was pretty much it. I mean,
Well, if you knowing's half the battle. Remember when
the old days when you bought your box of Tactical Marines for like $19.99 and you could cut them all off the sprue into a giant pile in the middle of the table and just start gluing shit together and pose them however you want it. Yep. Now they all come monoposed. Even if they say they're not monoposed, they actually are.
Do you remember
a bunch of trash?
Do you remember just a little while ago they were trying to bring back Epic Space Marines, and
they did. A lot of people love it.
And within 30 days, they said, "Oh, we're not gonna. We're gonna, but we're not. We're gonna put out the box and come get it if you can." And then they decided we're closing that shop up.
Yeah, a lot of people bought the version of Epic that was the Horus Heresy. Working, and it's all good. All right, bro. I mean, I said it, and then I was like, could that have been considered insulting? And I don't know, because I don't know emotions very well. I've only got like one, and it's rage. So that was kind of my apology. Like, I'm not dogging you for painting your Games Workshop figures. I think it's awesome. I like your show. You know that. I've followed you for years and years. But Games Workshop has pounded me in the ass for the last time. I'm done. I'm just done with them. And what Shadow said is another reason. And the fact that they never reprinted Mana War.
Oh, my God.
And they never reprinted Battlefleet Gothic, which honestly, Mana War is the best game they ever made. And then they remake Necromunda, but it's $300 freaking bucks, and it sucks compared to the original.
The original was such a fun game.
The original was so fun. It was simple. It was fun. You got your guy and a couple of Jews. You're running around that weird cardboard thing you build.
I've got 2 complete sets of it.
Hey, what's up, Doc? How you doing, homie?
Hey, what's up, Doc? Yeah, I went after the fact.
It's like Games Workshop is like devolving, and I don't like what they're devolving into.
Yeah, it's almost like they're the fun for them, the people who own the company, is fucking us over.
Well, no, see, they're smart. See, they price miniatures based on how many you need in an army. So if you need one of a figure, it's going to cost you $75 or $100. If you need 100 of them, they'll be pretty cheap. So nothing is priced based on how much it costs to produce. It's all priced by how much you need. And then on top of that, they change up what's good and what's bad about every couple months so that the win at all cost idiots will run out. They'll dump their Eldar army because now Eldar suck, and they'll buy Gene Stillers. But then in a couple months, Gene Stillers are going to suck. So then,
I noticed that. I noticed that too. Just now when you were saying that, I'm a big Dungeons and Lasers fan, and some of their boxes, for 10 sprues are X dollars, but then another box that's only 5 sprues is like 60, and I'm like, that's fucked up. It doesn't cost any more or any less to make one sprue over another. Once you've got the hardware and all the machines, which they do, to produce sprues, they should all be,
Holy Diver, the better quote should have been, we pick and choose, like Chinese buffet.
Hey, Holy Diver,
right?
Did you see my
Big Trouble in Little China?
I made another Conan-esque video this morning for this old war game called Royal Armies of the Hyborian Age. Anybody remember it?
No.
Kinda.
It was Fantasy Games Unlimited, and I know you, HT, you play historicals, so you literally have to be a historical guy to be able to play the Conan war game, because you pretty much need to cobble together historical minis from various sources to put together, an army of Cimmerians or the different nations of the era of Conan, because trying to find, an actual army of, Azir or
well, it's easy now because Monolith is cranking that shit out.
Who is?
Monolith.
Really? Okay, I was looking at the Monolith stuff.
Board game, which costs like $100, comes with like 100 miniatures.
Okay, so maybe that would be.
And they're good. And they got in trouble and didn't back down because what's her name? The Pirate Queen Bastet or whatever?
Belit is
topless. The miniature is. And the feminists and idiots were like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And Monolith was like, yeah.
Kick Rocks?
Yeah, she's still in there.
No, it's telling the feminists to kick rocks because they. How about you go read the fucking book?
Ran around
that isn't written by Anne Rand.
You have a great night, Mobius. Stay safe up there in Kanukistan.
Later, Mobius.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want Conan miniatures, like I've got a whole army of Picts, and they look like Picts because they are Picts. And they have Aquilonians, archers from Basonia, and you can buy them in on eBay. You can get them in groups of 10, pretty cheap.
I did see the Monolith board game, but I'm Jackie ain't gonna play it with me, so I'll get it later on down the road, maybe. Or better yet, go look for stuff on 3D printed stuff for that. But I figured, HT, he's a historical guy and he's a big Conan fan, so maybe it'd be something he'd be interested in trying to get some people to play, some sort of, war games with in the world of Conan. I'm all more likely to just do the role playing kind of games in the Conan world than trying to amass armies on a freaking 6x8, 4x8 giant freaking table until I open up the shop. Someone's not happy, huh?
Is there a mailman?
A mailman came by and he's like losing his mind.
Yeah, let me ask you a question about deliveries, guys. I order something like, every couple of days or whatever. Does it piss you off when everything comes at once, or do you like, or do you like prefer it staggered so you get like a package every other day or so?
Well, the package every other day is better for the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
But Amazon will give you sometimes a discount if you allow them.
Yeah,
to
if they can
put
be
it all
shipped
in one
together.
box. So
Yeah, I tend to order stuff in clumps, so I get boxes of stuff, and then
and
Well,
I have
see-
to really be careful with myself because part of my illness is I'm terrible with money. Because
I'm not terrible with money.
I'm constantly searching for the next dopamine hit because of being so depressed all the time. So,
Depressed.
I'm a horrible impulse buyer. My wife keeps my credit cards, which I probably wouldn't even have if it wasn't for her, honestly. And
See, I got this problem. I've been ordering things for at the beginning of the month I order stuff and then I wait for it to come in, and I order something every day or two. Different thing I see. But it's all stuff that I'm actually mostly books, and I've ordered a bunch of Conan books, and they're all going to arrive like on the same like Monday. They're all going to arrive on the same freaking day, and that won't give me enough time to actually I'm going to have to like which one do I want to read first instead of it's here I can start reading it now because it's here because I ordered I've got a copy of Red Nails separate hardcover. I've got the Chronicles
Red
of
Nails is just a straight up classic.
great story. One of the
The,
best.
But I've also got
the Phoenix on the sword or whatever. That
Well,
one.
see, that's the other book I've got coming is the Chronicles of Conan hardcover that's got everything in chronological as in when it was written order, which will of course include Red Nails, but I'll read it, how it was written, not the way it was reformatted by Lynn Carter and those guys.
Oh, I hated what they did with them.
But I've
Well,
also
they
Camp.
tried to make Conan more family friendly, which was never the point.
I don't. Well, the thing is, like, I've already got
See?
the Coming of Conan from Gnome Press, the original first print of the first Conan book. So I know, and I'm trying to get a couple of the others in the series. But
For those of you who don't know, this is Fade Rotha's right hand blade. I'll have the left hand blade too. So.
Which ones are the Conans are getting the Del Rey ones? Because those are the ones I think are the most faithful. They're like exactly as print as published.
I don't know. Well, because the Chronicles of Conan are all, I believe, reprinted from the Gnome Press, which were the first Conans ever.
Because for a long time, you couldn't even get the original stories because there was just the edited ones that were out there.
Right, the white cover paperbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
those.
the box that's the slip cover, and it's got and it's R.E. Howard. It's the original R.E. Howard. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. The Robert Jordan pastiches I like, but like the DeCamp, and I thought he ruined the stories he finished.
Well, I mean,
I didn't spray DeCamp
and Lynn Carter. Plus the editing. I really don't like that went in and like.
You got to understand that for a huge amount of time, that's all anybody could get.
Yeah, that's all that was out there
for the longest time. It was L. Sprague DeCamp or nothing.
Well, the Lynn Carter, L. Sprague DeCamp, Conan Cimmerian of Aquilonia, etc. That's all there was, because trying to find the Gnome Press hardcovers or whatever was just eBay didn't exist, or the people who had them, they weren't cutting loose with them.
Yeah.
But now I'm finding that the people who have them are kids and grandkids who don't give a shit. They know it's worth money. They don't want to read it. They don't care. So they'll drop them on eBay for $50 here or whatever. I saw a choice set of all 6 or 7. It was going for like $2,000, and I'm like,
ooh.
I almost pulled the trigger on it, to be honest.
What's the one?
Because I could have just made payments on it, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see if they send me a best an offer, because they probably
Zombie Jesus.
They probably don't get a lot of people looking, watching it like serious buyers, because those books, some books we have will always be worth a crap ton of money, or will go up in value, whereas a lot of other books of ours will end up in the
Well, anyway, the point
land-
is, I understand your dislike of the kind of ethereal way ammo and wealth is handled in these games. I understand it. I totally get it. But I don't let it ruin my fun.
Well, it can when you plan to go out and do a thing, and suddenly because of the 1 in 20 chance, you've been neutered.
Well, not neutered, but I've been thrown in jail for stuff.
I would just ignore systems like that and just go back to the old analog.
I mean,
keep track of your damn arrows. It ain't that
I
hard.
had a buddy run Conan for me, and yeah, during one of the between adventures, I ended up in jail. And you know what I did? I said, well, apparently I shouldn't have been doing something. Because, I mean, like I said, the big answer to your question, Shadow, is simply shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it.
Right, but
and once you accept that shit happens, then the Modifius games are a lot better.
Right, but here's the thing. If I tell you I'm doing this specific thing, and you say, "Well, roll," and then something completely impossible to happen if I tried to actually do what I was doing, the GM says, "Well, I'm ignoring what you said you're doing. This happened."
The problem, Shadow, is I would never do that. If you said when I get back to town, I want to go do this thing, and it was like a thing you could do that day or whatever, you would handle that. But then if you were going to be in town for more up to a month, right, you would at some point have to roll to see if some wackadoo shit happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Because see, what you're upset about is somebody used basically the Wandering Encounters random events table wrong, and it pissed you off.
No, it never happened to me. I just don't like the idea that.
Yeah, but what you're describing is what I'm saying.
That the GM is going to pull the lazy way out and go, "Oh, let's just see what happens." You know what I mean? Versus,
the thing you got to understand, though, is if we're talking Conan, good things can happen. You can you can make money during that week that you're.
I was thinking the adult things could happen.
There's one game.
Girlfriend, you could get a henchman. Maybe Subutai shows up. I mean,
there's some game. It might be one of the Conan games where you actually can't advance unless you piss all your money away on Hookers and Blow. I can't remember which one it is, but basically you have to carouse whatever you get away to advance.
Carousing stage, Doc.
There's a carousing rule in a lot of games.
During the carousing stage, you roll dice, and if you roll really good, some really awesome shit can happen. But if you roll bad,
but James, all that awesome shit is the stuff where the DM says, "Okay, fade to black."
Well, I hope you don't want somebody to actually describe.
No, I don't. But if I
can see it, like you're sitting at a table with Shadow, and you're like, he also learned the pleasures of women. Right? When he was bred to the finest stock. Bunch of Asians looking in between the bars watching. He's like, God, guys, a little privacy over here. Whatever, man. Maybe I'm just more forgiving about certain shit than you are.
Sure. No, I'm just, I'm a very material guy, as you guys probably know. And
when I go material world.
And when I go and do things like in the real world, I'm prepared. Just put it that way.
And I totally, like I keep saying, I get where you're coming from, but shit happens. And all of your plans will fall apart the second you encounter the enemy.
I've heard that said, but I've also had successful, endeavors, put it that way.
Yeah, but again, that goes with the shit happens thing I said.
Yeah, sometimes
you see what I mean? It's like
sometimes it is good shit that happens. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes your plan works because sometimes shit happens good, but A lot of times it don't.
No, or the shit
Sometimes
that's
you're
happening is
running through
for the other guys.
forest being chased by 40 angry picks because you're on the wrong side of the Thunder River. And you
Yes.
shoot at one of them with your freaking bow, and then all of a sudden you're like, where's all my fucking arrows? Well, I don't know, 100 yards back because your quiver got caught on a tree branch that was a little low and gone. So figure it out, buddy, because shit happens.
Yeah, because that was the adventure we were playing with Crafty Matt Craft. It was
Of
the
course,
river,
that's
the
the
picks,
starting adventure.
and I managed to I killed the creature, whatever it was, the big cat thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, there was like a jungle demon or something that
Yeah.
was there. Yeah.
Black River.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a, it
Yeah,
was a
you're on
swamp
the
demon.
wrong side
Yeah.
of the Thunder River, and all the picks have decided to
Yeah.
attack. What's that fort? Valerius or whatever.
It was a good.
And
It
you
was a
got
good
made
game.
into the
I
freaking
think
bridge.
Travis was in it, and a couple other people. It was a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
it
I
was
ran
fun.
that adventure about 4 times.
Yeah.
So you see what I just did though? You rolled a crit fell with your bow, and you're like, I'm going to load an arrow, and I was like, you ain't got it. And you're like, where are my arrows? You don't know because you were running through the fucking woods, and that could have got jammed up on something, and they're gone now. Maybe the quiver's there, but the bottom of the quiver's gone because shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit happens. And then maybe the fun part is overcoming that setback or murdering a freaking pick and taking his arrows. That's always a thing. You know what I mean? Find a pick with a bow, kill him, take his shit. But, you know, or you can just say, you know, I don't really care for that and not play the game, and that's good too. See, Dune is weird because it has all the guns and daggers and shit in it, but it really doesn't have anything where it's like, oh, you're out of ammo. If it does, I haven't got to that yet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And besides that, all the combats that I've ran so far, which has only been like 3, they've all been
It's a
nice.
shame too because I've got all of the John Carter from Modivius, a big chunk of the Mutant Chronicles, which is one of the other few IPs that I would play in or run that aren't like my own homebrew stuff.
Mutant Chronicles, Warhammer before Warhammer.
Pretty much, big shoulder pads and '80s hairstyles.
Dude, I've got in one of my drawers over here, I've got a bunch of Capital Rangers. Airborne.
I'm telling you, man, Mutant Chronicles had everything going for it. You know, it is one of the most widely printed games, whether it was the Doom Trooper card game or the miniature game or the role playing game. I believe.
Warzone was really good, actually, compared to Warhammer.
40K.
Warzone was a better game.
Yep, it's so
But
good.
then one day they just stopped being on the shelves.
Yeah, what happened was there was a their factory was next to like a meat processing plant in like Ireland or something, and they had this big issue with contamination, and they got in a lot of trouble. Yeah, it was kind of fucked up because at the height of was it Heartbreaker? I think Heartbreaker Hobbies. They had their game or one of their games in just about every country on the planet in like 40 or 50 different freaking languages, just
Well,
everywhere.
I can
It's
tell you
still-
the problem. They were in Ireland.
To this day, Doom Trooper and Mutant Chronicles and Warzone are still immensely popular all throughout Europe. One of the top 10 still most popular games
I
over there.
did not like the one game that come with the box and the hex thing and the big plastic miniatures.
Oh, that was crap. I've
Yeah,
got all of
I
that.
didn't
That was
care
crap.
for it.
That was crap. I even got like a special edition, very limited. It was crap. But everything else they did,
Warzone was amazing. And of course, I played Capital, so I had Capital Rangers, Capital Seals, and I had
that
my
game was so
Martian
good that
Commandos.
Void, I think it was Void, basically ripped off their rules and made it for their game. The whole idea that every miniature had I think it was 3 actions or 4 actions, so you could decide what it was
What's
going
up,
to do,
Paladin?
whether it was going to move, charge, aim, do
Well,
other
yeah,
things.
they really did kind of. Um, they kind of really did do the whole activation per miniature thing, and that actually made the game. That was the main reason I liked it better than 40K, because I would activate my miniatures, then you activate a miniature, and we go back and forth.
Yep.
So you're always moving shit and taking shots and whatever, instead of I'm playing Imperial Guard and I get to go first, so I'm going to destroy half of your army with artillery before you
Yep.
even get a turn,
Yep.
which was a thing in like 3rd edition.
Same as Epic Space Marines. I played Imperial Guard, and we're done with movement phase, and I didn't move shit. Okay, shooting phase. Okay, I'm just going to start dropping templates all over your army.
Do you know what? You want to hear something that's really funny? Kill Team and Necromunda use the activation system.
Mm-hmm.
So why they can't add that to 40K, I have no idea.
It made so much more sense, and you didn't feel like you were just sitting there, while your army is just frozen in place while the other guy is just doing all kinds of crazy shit, and you're just standing there.
Right. Battletech uses that system.
Yeah.
You roll initiative, and then the guy who lost initiative has to move the first mech. And then everybody fires at the same time, and damage takes place all at the same time. But
yeah, I wish the Mech Warrior HeroClix game had figured that out. They figured it out, but it was at the end of the game's lifespan. During the first half of the game, you'd move, and then you just sit there as the other guy just take shot after shot after shot after shot. On your mechs, and you're just sitting there like, okay, why did I bother moving? I should have just stood here. Like, no, you move. No, you move.
well,
No,
how
you
those
move.
kids really effed up is they insisted on making the Battletech Clicks game in an era no one had ever heard of, and also making the mechs like totally not the same scale as normal Battletech. Had they done just the Succession Wars and the mechs been about the same scale as normal Battletech, not only would have Battletech HeroClix guys been buying a shit ton of them, but just Battletech fans would. Because I mean, those bases are about the same size as a Battletech base, and so you would have had people like me who give a shit about the HeroClix part, but I still would have been buying boxes to get my hands on pre-painted.
Me and the guys, me and the guys every like 2 weeks we go to this dealer place. It was called Frankensons. It's still in existence. It was basically a Wednesday or Saturday swap meet for gamers, and we go and we buy unopened cases of the Clicks games, and split the cases. After everything was opened. So you didn't get screwed. Like, okay, my buddy over here, he's playing the Spirit Cats, so he gets all the Spirit Cats. Guy over here, Steel Wolves, he gets all the Steel Wolves. That's just the way it is, And it worked out great for us, except when it came to actually trying to play the game, because you just stand there and just get riddled, and
Well,
it would
one
eventually
good
boil
thing-
down to, no, I'm not moving. Well, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. Well,
One good thing about the HeroClix Battletech, though, is that the vehicles and infantry were really easy to pop off the bases.
Yep.
And glue onto a hex base and just use in a Battletech game.
Yep.
And they weren't so far off scale. For some reason,
Yeah.
all of the non-mechs were a lot closer to the right scale than the mechs. It,
Yeah, the
it-
mechs
it
were
was
gigantic.
really weird,
the mechs were way too big.
They're just way too big. And
But I think that was. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to let you guys go. I got to take care of something.
all right.
It was good talking to you guys. Doc, I'll see you tomorrow
It's
night.
great
Yeah,
talking.
then, man.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Where's the out button? There it is.
Yeah, we just been talking about games, Doc, and I mean, I'm whining because I'm going through my I'm not playing fantasy anymore phase,
Ah,
and then Bear was here, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, and then um, Shadow was bitching about the things he don't like about Modiphius 2-20, and I was trying to explain to him what it means. But I mean, it doesn't mean anybody should play it if they don't like it. But there is logic behind it.
yeah. I don't like the 2D20 system myself. I don't really care for it.
I kind of like it a lot. Like in Dune, how it works is you have your skills and you have your drives. And the drives are like the emotional things your character wants, right? And then the skills are like battle, understand, communicate, whatever, right? And then you can have skills that you write down next to the skill number. So battle number, short blades. And then how it works is if your battle's 7 and your duty's 7, then the target number is 14. But if any die 20 comes up a 7, it counts as 2 successes if you're using a short blade. And then, so in that way, the different skills you learn can actually have pretty big effects. But like I said, every battle that's happened so far that I've been running again has always been knives.
Yeah, well, it's Dune, so it's
Yeah, I mean, it's the sci-fi that's not really a sci-fi. Because, hey, you can travel from one place to the other, but we're not going to tell you how. And don't even look into it because you're not even allowed to know. You know, it's like how do spaceships work? God only knows. He never explained it. They pick you up at the spaceport. They take you to this big hollow tube. You show up wherever you want to be. That's it. No jump drives. You ain't got to worry about your stutter warp. It's space magic. You just, you know, actually, kind of literally it is. I mean, the freaking engineers, you know, the navigators. You know, they come out of their little spice tank and
little fish guy.
Yeah, you know, and then boom, all of a sudden, it's like the nobles in our group went to Catane to get permission to have a sub-fiefdom. And it's like, one of them's like, how long will it take us to get to Catane? And I'm like, well, however long it takes you to get from the ground to the Highliner, and then from the Highliner to Catane. From the Highliner to Catane, which because the travel between the two doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
No.
So basically, what takes time when you're traveling in Dune is the Highliner waiting for everybody who's going to take that trip to bring their ships in and dock them. Because the entire inside of the tube is docks. And then once all the ships are there, fold space, boom, you're at wherever.
Yeah, I think they mentioned in some of the books, like depending on where you were going or leaving from, you could get like held up for a while just because they would cycle through certain places, so you have to wait till they got to wherever you were going. But the impression they left you with, it was never terribly long.
Well, because some Highliners run routes. And if you get on a Highliner that has a route, then you got to go on the route until you're stopped, like a Greyhound bus. Yeah. But it's okay because the ships, if you're a noble house, are luxurious. Your ship is a
you never leave. You're
chilling out. And I mean, so it's not a big deal, you know. But I like the Modiphius 2.20 games. I like the Conan game. But if I'm going to run another sword and sorcery game ever again in my life, it's going to be Baptism of Flame or nothing. And I will put my foot down 10 toes deep. I'm standing on that business. I will play the Mad Muses pundit freaking 10th century Poland game or nothing else. So the next time my players get all a hankering to play knights and shit, that's what we're playing. And when they're like, there's no elves or gnomes, I'll be like, there actually are, except they'll try and kill you.
You don't want to meet them.
You don't want to meet them. They're out in deep forest, though. They do exist. I'll be like, how about, oh, can I play a bard? No, but you can play a Scumrazni. They're kind of like a bard, except everyone hates them. You know? I wonder if that's where the word scum comes from. Scumrazni. Can I play a paladin? Yeah, except you're a holy warrior. You're not paladin, you're a holy warrior. And anytime you fight anyone that's not Christian, you get bonus to damage. Grats.
Hey, let me chase this cat out real quick. He's driving me crazy. Hang on.
All right. I got my collection of Star Frontier ships here I've been painting. I need to put in storage. I got a bunch of ships that aren't Star Frontiers, but I would use with Star Frontiers battles because they look close enough. You know what I mean? So if I want to play a game of Nighthawks with my brother, some of these generic ships, I'd be like, yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, I've been hankering to work on a sci-fi game lately.
If
A lot involved in designing that though, because there's so much ground to cover.
Yeah. If my group were to tell me we really want to play,
Hello. Oh, there we go.
I would run Traveler 2300. Lost connection, reconnecting, asshole. Yeah, I would run Traveler 2300, which uses the exact same rules as Mongoose Traveler. But
Yep.
I like the setting better because it's like near future.
Yeah, I've played in a Mongoose Traveler. It's very similar to Classic Traveler from what I've seen.
It's basically Classic Traveler, except all the skills work the same way.
Yeah.
Whereas in Classic Traveler, most of the skills were like completely distinct mini games. You know, it's like, and this, oh, if you want to gamble, you got to do all this shit. But if you want to do this, you got to do it. I mean, you know, but it's written by an Air Force veteran engineer.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of dry and like full of jargon and shit. That like,
have you ever seen Traveler 5 that he wrote?
Yes.
I'm convinced he was like having a nervous breakdown or something when he wrote this thing. It's like it's completely impenetrable.
Phone book.
It's the way it's utterly. I don't see how you could possibly play it.
Well, 90% of the game is devoted to making planets and aliens. 90% of that book, it's like, what's the point of this? You know, it's like, but he woke up one day and said, I'm going to make the ultimate Traveler game. And he did, I guess. But I'm like, whatever, dude. I mean, did you hear that he gave the rights to Mongoose Traveler?
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, because he really liked what they did with it.
Yep.
He was like, yeah, you can just make this in perpetuity.
He also gave them the rights to all the other games Game Designer Workshop had out at that time.
Oh,
so they have the rights to Cadillacs and Dinosaurs and freaking Dark Conspiracy, which supposedly Mongoose is going to be putting a version out of that. The only game they're not going to be messing with is Twilight 2000, because Mongoose Games says they are way too big of fans of what Free League did with it, that they're not even going to try and jump on that. That's Free League's. I mean,
never played Twilight 2000. I made characters for it, but it wound up like falling through. We never played it. But
well, I mean, I can give you kind of a short synopsis. You ever seen the movie The Road?
Yeah.
It's that, but basically a role-playing game. That's pretty much it. Oh, and you have friends, maybe.
And you die of tetanus.
And you die of tetanus because you tried to break into a building and cut yourself on some glass, and it got septic, and there's no penicillin or anything.
The Oregon Trail of tabletop.
It is. That is such a great way to put it, and so true. Twilight 2000 is the Oregon Trail of tabletop role-playing games. If you encounter enemy soldiers or hell friendly soldiers, and they're really like healthy looking, yeah, don't trust them. Like especially if any of them are a little chunky. There's something, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like in the book of Eli, you know, if they look a little bit too well fed, yeah, it is what you think it is.
That was the other thing I was thinking about doing with the sci-fi game. Maybe having it like do it almost like a Gamma Worldy kind of thing, where it's like one isolated planet,
Right?
and this way you just get away from like a lot of the tech stuff that would pile up very heavily if you did like a whole like multi-system thing.
Believe it or not, Empire of the Petal Thrones was that.
That wasn't that a fantasy game?
Kinda, but no. Empire of the Petal Thrones, humans had settled in an alien world and pretty much whipped the shit out of them and conquered a big chunk of it. And then for some reason that no one knows why, the world and the star system that it was a part of just blinked out of space into its own pocket dimension that no one could enter or leave. And since no more humans could come with advanced technology and shit, the humans basically degraded back to freaking Romanesque times. And the monsters they had put on, or the alien natives they'd put on reservations were getting off the reservations. And the humans are out here fighting them. And the culture is really weird. It's like a mix between Rome and the Aztecs, you know, with some Hinduism thrown in because of all the different people that had settled there. So, yeah, it was sci-fi, but done in a fantasy way. Pretty weird. But then again, a lot of people, I guess, hate that guy now because I don't know why.
That was one of the first games that came out, wasn't it? Wasn't that like right after
I think
Dungeons
that
and
was
Dragons?
like the first printed setting by TSR.
Oh, okay.
And the guy who wrote it, like Tolkien, was a linguist.
Oh, okay.
And I have the actual rule book. Yeah, the alphabets and shit are in there. And with pronunciations and all that shit. And there's like aliens, they're like centaurs and aliens that have like 7 genders and like, and then humans and one thing that's weird is because the world that the Empire of the Petal Throne is on is actually very hot, right? For humans. Most humans never wear shirts. So all the art in the book, it's mostly topless people walking around, men and women, wearing nothing but loincloths and stuff. The only time you put on a lot of clothes is if you're going in for battle, you know? But yeah, there might still be aspects of the interstellar Earth Empire or whatever that had originally settled the world, but
It's out of touch.
that shit is long gone, you know? So in a way, it's kind of like Pugmire. It's, you know, Pugmire is a future game too. You just don't know where the humans went. So it's like Gamma World, except it uses a different system. That's really what Pugmire is. It's Gamma World as if the mutants were all stable. So you don't ever have to roll for random mutations because it's stable mutations. So, Ramak, well, I appreciate that, sir. Of course, people... a lot of people call me a furry because I like the game, but you know, whatever. That's the price you pay, I guess, you know, for liking the game. You know, it's like, and when Omenau said he'd run the game, I made a little Pomeranian cleric.
Oh shit! Hang on a second. I got a thing from the VA. I gotta
Yeah,
grab
take
this
it.
one. Hello.
Yeah, my little Pomeranian cleric was ready to go, ready to get out there and heal and bark at evil and guard his home and fetch the artifacts of man and bring them back to the temple and try to be, I kid you not, this was part of his cleric thing. He had to try to be the goodest boy he could be. And as a Pomeranian, I got a bonus to my charisma, which ends up being good if you're a cleric, since a lot of your cleric stuff is based off of charisma. So, you know, if you want to be a fighter, you pick Pit Bull. You know, they get like their bonus to strength and all that. But then imagine a Pit Bull, however tall it is, walking around in a chainmail halberd and carrying a bastard sword and a shield and going out in the wilderness and hoping not to run into a wandering horde of badgers who are in Pugmar basically the orcs, because the badgers just kind of wander around rampaging all over the place. So Ramak, are you a Grim or a Grim? He pops in occasionally, my Indian bro, but you know, he's got like 15 different freaking accounts, so I'm never 100% sure if it's a Grim or not. My Punjabi pal. But yeah. I don't know. I guess he had a little bit of a nervous time a little while back when it looked like India and Pakistan were thinking about chucking nukes at each other. I'm really happy that didn't happen, because I don't think that would have been good for anybody. But hey, you know, I guess you got to do what you got to do, right? But
hey man, I got a bolt that I got to deal with this. But
okay.
It was good talking to you, man. I'll see you later.
I'll see you next time. It's getting close for me to get out of here anyway.
Later, everybody.
Yeah, I got these clear boxes and they clip on. And what's cool though is like they're stackable. So you can click them, like they come with like 3 containers like this. But if I wanted to click more on, I could. And then, I mean, that helps me keep my area clean because, you know, I can store stuff. But yeah. The only topic I can really think of talking about for a minute before I get out of here is the you rolled a critical fumble, so you don't have any ammo stuff. It's true. It's like any game you play, you have to kind of buy into the fantasy, or you're always going to find something you don't like. And that would be my advice to any fantasy or even sci-fi players. You know, you like, don't try to make the DM or GM explain to you exactly how faster than light works. Because let's be honest, it's never going to happen. It's not even possible. But I mean, by our current understanding of physics, right? Not to mention that weird field at the edge of the solar system that would probably kill anyone that tried to go through it. So yeah, I mean, just accept that the ship is going from one place to another and move on with your life, man. Have fun in the game. You know, too many people worry about shit. And it's like, dude, this is not something that needs to be worried about. And in 2-20, if you roll a bunch of crits and you lose a stack of ammo, hopefully you got a second stack. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. You were running up. I mean, I come from Eastern Kentucky, and I know how easy it is to drop shit running up a rocky hillside. It's super easy. Super easy. You know, if you ain't got your shit, when I was in the Army, if you didn't have your shit together, you could end up losing your canteen cup, your canteen, all kinds of shit. And if you're going through infantry training and they're putting you through the frickin' HUA and you drop half your gear running up a trail, guess what? You're going to be in trouble, right? You go to HUA school over that shit. So to me, it's not that big of a deal, you know? So yeah, you lost your whatever. Okay. Anyway, though, peace and love to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I will see you